Welcome back to the Oddity Shop, all you lovely oddball boys and gals. This is the podcast where we tell you creepy, odd, weird, strange, bizarre stories from around the globe. I am sitting here with the most amazing, best human on this planet.
Oh my God.
Other than my mom, Kara the curator. How are you?
Kara the curator. I'm great.
It has a good ring to it, though.
It kind of does. How are you?
I'm Zach. And also I'm good.
Yeah, you're Zach.
I'm doing good.
We're new here.
I have some late night caffeine for me, so I'm feeling awake now. I can feel it hitting my bloodstream. I'm ready to go.
Zach and I have decided this is the longest week of our lives for no actual reason.
Well, I mean,
reasons.
I did die for 2 days in bed with a migraine.
I didn't, but it's still my longest week ever.
It's so sad, though, because, like, you know how busy I am. The fact that I was in pain for 2 full days, but also thankful to just lay in bed and do nothing.
Because you had no choice. Like, you couldn't feel guilty because you had no choice.
No, I literally just laid there.
I don't remember what I was telling you, like, last night, but you said something. You're like, how do you find all the time? Because I don't even remember what I told you I was doing. You're like, how do you find the time? And I was like, that sentence that you sent me validated me so hard, because I'm like, I be thinking I'm, like, failing over here. I can't get nothing done. Like, nothing. And you're like...
Every time I talk to you, you're like, I cranked out this video. I'm doing this. I did this. I'm like... Oh my God, girl.
I'm trying. That's why we are delirious today.
The difference is, right, is for me, work and podcast and half of everything that I do all happens in this room. So I don't have to travel that far to get a bunch of things done.
I know, I wish, because that's my biggest complaint is that I am consistently, majority of my day is traveling.
So speaking of our offices, though, can I give a little teaser or something to come?
No.
Okay.
Because what if the logistics don't work?
Listen, listeners, there may or may not be something coming with our studios. And that's all I'm saying. But if it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
There you go.
So surprise again, another cliffhanger.
Just that assholes. All right. I don't really have much to say except for I think this recording, we are March 13th. I think this episode is. If I'm calculating correctly. Okay.
Correct.
Which means,
ooh.
Yes, which means we have like pretty much a month or so
a month and a week
before our event. So,
while you're all listening to this, I'm going to be at the Dixon Dallas concert today. I'm so excited for gay country. Okay.
So anyway, yeah.
The event. You were saying less than or just over a month to the event.
And obviously at this point, I don't know if there are still tickets, but if there are, then I would love for you guys to come hang out with us. If there are not, don't worry. We are going to try to do more stuff like this so that we can meet more people and just do cool things. So don't worry. One more thing that I do want to, touch base on, because I don't actually really think we actually talk about it a lot. We do have a Patreon, and I've been really bad at like posting that we actually have a Patreon on our socials. So a lot of people might not know we do have a Patreon. So you can subscribe. There's a free portion too, where I try to give you some stuff for free. But there's 2 tiers. We give you, what do we give you? A day early episodes. We give you blooper reels. We give you motivational or manifesting Monday, inspirational things. I do all kinds of weird shit, like just go to graveyards by myself and record it. We play games and quiz each other.
And eventually when we have merch, there's going to be a discount code and all that kind of good stuff. There's chat in there. And
our Patreons did find out that we were having an event before everybody else. So you kind of get, some.
They've also gotten some giveaways.
Yes, they've gotten some giveaways. So anyway, I just wanted to put that in there because I don't know if we're just trying to, we don't want to pester you people, but like also like we are doing this stuff. I would love for you guys to take advantage of it.
Absolutely.
Well, that's really all I have.
Well, I got nothing else. You ready to open the shop?
Sure. Let's do it after I sip my tea.
Okay, while you sip your tea, I'm going to demand that you have a question for me, or else I'm not opening the shop today. Doors are staying shut. No sales.
Okay. Has anyone made you do something that you didn't want to do? And let's be real, that's a rhetorical question.
Yeah.
Because of course, at one point, we've all been influenced to buy something or change our hair or our style.
I'd like to say I'm like a recovering people pleaser. So the amount of times I've done this.
Yeah. An influence you'd probably expect to be like under TikToker in the dictionary. But nay. Influence, for those that don't know, is the act or power of producing an effect without apparent exertion or force or direct exercise of command.
Ooh.
Okay. So in modern use, the noun typically refers to the power to change or affect someone or something, especially the power to cause changes without directly forcing those changes to happen. So I have a second question for you.
Okay.
Do you think someone could convince you to do something morally wrong? Like now. I'm saying now, not we've all done bad things because people told us to, peer pressure and all, but.
Is alcohol involved?
Sure.
I'm easy to talk into doing stupid shit after a few drinks. So I would say, yeah, honestly,
yeah.
With knowing what I know about language and how people use it, I feel like I'd be a little bit better, but people can be damn influencing.
Yeah. It's our world.
Truly.
Okay. Now, if you said or did something that then influenced someone to go and do something morally wrong, would you care?
If I made somebody do it?
No, let's just say you just said something. Maybe you didn't directly tell somebody to go do something, but you just said something, whatever, that then influenced somebody to go and do this morally wrong thing.
Gotcha.
Would you care?
Oh, yeah. I would. I feel like I have a bit of a guilty conscience at times, so it would get at me. Yeah. That's a triple threat question, too. Nicely done.
Okay. I have another one.
Oh, my God. Is this because every time you don't have one prepared to make you think of one on the spot? So now you're like...
No. Okay. So you would feel guilty. Now, this person did something morally wrong. Do you think that you should be held responsible?
Oh. Okay. I'm going to say most times yes, because
Can you just answer the question and shut your pie hole?
Yes. Yes, you should be held responsible. I am getting excited.
You always think you should be held responsible? You didn't do anything, though.
Comes down to intent.
Just think about it.
I don't have to. I don't have to. It comes down to intent. If that person intended to make the other person act, yes, you should absolutely 100% of the time be held. If you didn't mean to, I think you have to look at that as a case-by-case basis. Okay. So, if I told you to go step on a frog and you stepped on that frog, absolutely my fault. Okay. If I said, ew, I really hate frogs, and then you went and stepped on the frog and I didn't intend to make you do it, I think that you have to look at case by case. Okay. I don't know where frogs came from, but... Okay.
I don't know if you know what we're actually getting into. I think I might know what you think it is, but you...
Okay.
Okay, but what it doesn't...
I'm excited either way.
Yeah, though. Okay. So there is a disclaimer. This one gets dark. I know we talk about a lot of dark stuff. I tried to keep it as not dark. But we're gonna get depressing here. All right. Matthew Lawrence. Have you heard of him?
Oh, okay. Not the story that I thought it was.
I think I knew what you were talking about.
I don't think I know this one yet, but...
Okay. You might. Okay.
I still love these kind of stories, though.
So what about EA Koetting? Have you heard of him?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So I've heard his name pronounced multiple different ways. Some people say Koetting. Some people say Koetting, but most pronounce it Koetting. So I'm going to go with that.
What's it spelled?
Koetting.
Cool.
All right. So for those that have not, he is an American self-styled occultist and author. And I will read you what Google Books about the author from 2011 says. And it reads this. EA Koetting has invested over a dozen years. Why did I just glitch, y'all? I'm sorry. This is going to be hard to get through today.
Try again.
Send the vibes to your girl. He's invested over a dozen years studying the mysteries of the occult and their practical applications. He has spent the last decade teaching and guiding others in their ascent. Koetting is the author of several books on the esoteric and has over the past few years risen as a leader of the practical spirituality.
Thank you. Movement.
Koetting has appeared nationally on Coast to Coast AM with George Noory and other syndicated and internet radio shows, to name a few. And I'm not going to name them all because I don't care. Amazon review is they took like more of like the Sabrina Carpenter approach, short and sweet.
Oh my God. I just can't get into her.
I think she's cute. You're about to learn secrets most people will never know about godlike power. Unlock the black magic of best-selling author E.A. Koetting's entire collection of cult classic grimoires, available for the first time ever in paperback and Kindle. Can you pathwork every grimoire? Oh my God, I can't fucking speak today. In the complete works of E.A. Koetting.
Wow, he's an accomplished dude.
Well, so speaking of himself, he states, I grew up in a Mormon household. I've always had a push towards the spiritual and supernatural. We would read these scriptures every night. And as we would read about these prophets and the miracles they would perform, I always kind of wanted to look behind it and say, okay, well, how did they do that? What was their method?
Oh, so he's like... What's up, oddballs? We've got a little surprise for you. Our first event is finally coming around. We are going to be doing a little event at the Haunted Eloise Asylum in Michigan. Kara, tell us about the details.
Okay, so the details are it is going to be April 19th, and it is going to start at 6 p.m. and go until midnight. And Zachary, what are we doing at Eloise?
We are bringing in the wonderful Lauren haunts, where we're all going to build our own investigative equipment that we get to take home with us. And what are we doing from there?
Okay, so after the workshop that we have with Lauren and we build our equipment, we're going to actually go use our own equipment that we just built, and we're going to investigate Eloise.
So we hope you all can make it. Tickets are going to be very limited. We're holding it for 20 people max. The link is down below. And Kara, let's wrap this up.
Well, we hope to see you there, and we hope you creep a real, you little eyeballs.
Goodbye.
Bye.
He wants to expose magicians sort of deal.
Additionally, EA is an influencer of fuckery, and that's my personal opinion.
I think that is one of the best titles I've ever heard.
Thanks. He, if you look at him or look at videos of him, he is like a in my mom's basement dwelling trash pig. Again, my opinion. Anyway, he has like 25 books and or grimoires. I couldn't even find the exact amount, but he's got a lot. And along with his books, he offers courses on and consultations, merch, insight through social media and podcasts. And then just to give you kind of like an insight, like on some stats, he had 128,000 followers on Facebook, 87,000 followers on YouTube. This is in like 2020. And that is a big amount of people to be sharing your insights with. In one of his YouTube videos viewed more than 17,000 times, he says, and I quote, "When you destroy the victim, there is a release, a massive explosion of power and energy. If you can harness that and push it towards a goal, it's powerful beyond most other forms of magic. It's the blackest magic without a doubt."
Oh, so he's doing like dark magic shit. Do we know who the... What kind of victim?
Listen.
Sorry, I have so many questions.
Don't worry, though, because he does add a clause in there, basically to advocate for like not harming anyone. But in that clause, it says to cover myself legally. Like, it's not even like, hey, I don't promote killing people. It's just that it's just to cover myself legally is what he put in there. Like okay.
I might have more of an idea of who this guy is.
What? A shit dick.
Okay, go on. I might know of him.
Okay. Well, he's a shit dick.
Yeah.
So, however, one of his books describes how to murder another person with a knife in a ritual sacrifice. Okay. Another suggests that you study the terrorist handbook because this provides practical guidance on how to kill another person. Then that's an exact quote.
Wonder where this is going.
So in a Fox 13 interview, EA explains that his black magic he teaches can be violent, selfish, and dangerous. Another quote from this POS is, I don't care what you use it for. I don't care if you use these curses to kill people or to kill cancer. Doesn't matter to me. Cool. Okay.
Those two sentences just say so much about him as a human being.
Okay, so enough about this dirtbag influencer or whatever he calls himself. Magician. Bullshit. Okay, so on June 5th, 2020, Bibaa Henry and her sister Nicole Smallman headed to Freyent, I think it's how you say it, Country Park in London. And they were meeting friends and family to celebrate Bibaa's 46th birthday. So due to COVID restrictions, because that was 2020, oh my God.
I was thinking that, yeah, June was early in too.
So that was kind of the perfect place. Do it in a park. Hang out. After their like outdoor picnic, that's kind of what they did, is picnic. After their outdoor picnic and it kind of got late, friends and family, they left. And it was kind of late when they left. So Bibaa and Nicole stayed. And at 1:05 a.m., Bibaa sent a text to her boyfriend stating that the two were doing the most wholesome thing ever. They were dancing in a field.
Oh.
Isn't that so cute? Like two sisters just dancing around in a field.
I kind of love it.
I love it
like
too.
mid-40s.
So she's 46 and her younger sister was 26 or 7. But still
fun.
It's just so fucking cute. So at 1:15, pictures show that the two were playing with, they kept saying fairy lights. And when I looked it up, some say it was like Christmas lights, but I think it might have been those string lights.
Yeah, it's like those string lights with the LEDs that you have camping. Yeah.
So I think they were playing with those, which is even more fucking wholesome that they're just dancing in a field, just them two playing with fucking fairy lights. I love it. I already gave a disclaimer, so we know we know that they never came home.
Yeah, I mean, I think even without the disclaimer, the little bit at the beginning here.
The two were reported missing on June 6th. And the family and friends of both of them were informed that the police would head out and they would get leads on, the girls' whereabouts or do whatever. But sadly, this actually never happened.
Oh.
And I'm not quite sure I don't know what the holdup was. I'm not really sure, but not wanting to waste any more time, Nicole's boyfriend, Adam Stone, his parents, and then a friend of Bibaa's started their own kind of search. Mm-hmm. And so on June 7th, they headed back to the park. So after locating their sunglasses, or a pair of sunglasses, Adam stumbled upon the girls under a tree line.
Oh.
27-year-old Nicole Smallman and 46-year-old Bibaa Henry were found lifeless, being stabbed 8 and 28 times. Like
one was stabbed 8, the other 28? Damn. Okay, well, this is, I'm going to say, a crime of passion.
Okay. Why?
If one of them is stabbed that many times and the other one isn't.
They were like the main victim. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. I got you.
That's my guess.
That makes sense. All right. So that's all horrifying and it's awful. And,
say no more.
This part, though, we can appreciate. About a month after the murders, a DNA sample was linked by police. And I just be loving DNA. Okay. So it was linked by police. And it was linked to a past conviction. Did your light just turn on?
They turn it off automatically at 9 o'clock, so I have to turn them back on.
That scared me. You're just sitting there so calm. I'm like, did your lights just turn off and on? And you're just sitting there.
Everything's fine, Kara. Pay no attention to the lights.
So funny. Okay, so the DNA was linked to a past conviction. So that's cool. It's like, we love that shit. All right. So this brought the police to the Hussein residence where they proceeded to raid the home. Okay. So on July 1st, 2020, 19-year-old Daniel Hussein was arrested.
I remember hearing about these two and some of the story, but I didn't connect it to the first guy. I'm very excited.
So his father... No, you're not excited.
Excited as you can be for a murder story. Yeah.
His father's past crime was actually the DNA that was linked then from the knife that was actually left at the crime scene.
Say that again?
Okay. So their past conviction was Daniel's dad. And his DNA was linked to the knife that was at the crime scene. So that's how they linked it. It was just because his dad was already in the system. They linked it to this house.
So they found it like a family member. Okay.
So familial DNA, baby. Always solving some crimes. I can't wait. I'm still waiting for my goddamn DNA and I want to solve a crime. I want to be part of an unsolved murder or some dumb shit.
You're going to figure out your favorite family member is a murderer or something. That would happen on your fam.
I'll be okay with it. That's so disturbing. Okay. A little bit about this fuck bag, another fuck bag. So at just 15, Daniel was monitored by the consent from October 2017 to May 2018. And oh my God, it's not the consent.
I think you're waiting for me to give you the word, but I don't know. I've been trying to figure it out since you said consent.
I don't know why it's called the contest. I don't know why I said consent. But anyway, this was founded after 9/11, and it's the United Kingdom's counterterrorism strategy.
Okay.
So he was actually put on this monitoring because on his school computer, he had accessed far-right material and Norse mythology. So just stuff that he shouldn't have been looking up on a fucking school computer.
Norse mythology gets you flagged?
Well, I think that, and it was just a bunch of other shit, you know?
Okay.
So 3 days before the murder, CCTV showed Daniel purchasing knives and candles at a local supermarket. And then over the next 10 days after the murder, Daniel spent $203.70 on lottery tickets and bets. Okay, so here's where we get more fucked up. During the police raid, officers found a handwritten agreement. And I'm going to read it to you.
Can we just go back to one thing real quick before the agreement?
Yeah, you tell me whatever you'd like to.
Okay.
Chat away.
If your father is either still in jail or was in jail or did something with the crime where he's in the system, why would he also commit the crime and then leave the DNA with the knife at the scene?
Yeah, and I couldn't find what his dad did. And I couldn't even find his dad's name. It kept just saying his father. So I was trying to see I was just curious. Because, what to get in the system, I don't know. I feel like you have to have, I don't know.
It had to be significant. But,
here's what
if your dad has literally been booked, you have to be careful.
Yeah. And I mean, he's fucking 19. He's an idiot. True. Idiot. Okay. So I'm going to kind of explain. So the top center of this paper it's written and it says agreement.
Okay.
Under that, it says, for the mighty king, Lucifuge Roficael. And then it's bulleted, okay? These are the bullets. Perform a minimum of 6 sacrifices every 6 months for as long as I am free and physically capable. Sacrifice only women. Build a temple for you. Do everything that I have promised. And then under that it says for me, and then some more bullets. And then in those bullets, it says, win the Mega Millions super jackpot to receive fruitful rewards in return for the future sacrifice I make to you. The rewards could consist of wealth and power, to never be suspected of any crimes by the police, and also that the police will never know of any crimes that I have done and that I will do. And then it is signed in blood, Daniel.
This guy's the dumbest criminal ever. Okay, first of all, what are you going to do? Deny that you made the agreement? You wrote it in your own DNA, and you're also busted buying the knife on camera and then the lottery tickets. Could you imagine his lawyer is you would just look at those 3 things and go, you're fucked.
So, according to the occultist.net, Lucifuge Roficael is a pivotal figure in the occult world. Associated with wealth, earthly pleasures, and forbidden knowledge. As such, he is often summoned for obtaining these fine things. Lucifuge is also considered by some to be the darker aspect of Lucifer, as his interests are tied to earthly rather than celestial affairs. Lucifuge is often depicted as the prime minister to the infernal monarchy, serving directly under Lucifer. He manages the government of the demonic realm, exercising power over its wealth and treasures. In some interpretations, he is considered the antithesis of the archangel Raphael, a figure of healing and light. And then he is known for his dominion over worldly goods, granting riches and material abundance to those who summon him correctly. However, these gifts come with a price, often requiring a pact signed in the magician's blood, symbolizing the spiritual bond formed between the summoner and the demon. And his origins can be traced back to the grimoire named Le Dragon Rouge, or the Red Dragon. That was published in the 19th century. It's actually also commonly known as the Grand Grimoire.
Oh.
It is divided into 2 books, and the first one contains instructions for summoning a demon for the construction of tools with which to force the demon to do one's bidding.
I have so much to say on that, but
let's go. Let me hear you. You don't even want to, right? It's like one of those.
The 20-second thing is like, what type of delusion? Sorry for the stuttering. What type of delusion must you live in where you think you can make a deal with the devil, basically, and then also control it? You're not going to control the demon. You ain't going to win that game, baby.
Here's the thing. I very much think that you can summon a demon.
I think you can absolutely summon one.
I don't think you're going to get what you fucking want to get, though.
You can try to bargain. You ain't going to control them.
Let me just tell you that the amount of times I just said his name, and even every time I thought his name as I was typing and researching, I was thinking that I might be accidentally summoning him. And I was like getting a little sketched out.
Time to do a little cleansing.
Oh, yeah, I know. But yeah. I don't know how you'd think that this is going to work in your favor, you stupid little boy.
Said it pretty damn good.
Okay. So further into the murder investigation, it was found that Daniel was part of a satanic-themed internet forum called Becoming a Living God.
Oh.
Becoming a Living God is a company belonging to, drumroll, our original douchebag, Koetting.
Mm-hmm.
So in this forum, Daniel alleged he was a psychic vampire and asked for advice about demonic pacts. He stated oh my God. Blah, 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 blah. And he asked for advice about demonic pacts. He also stated in this forum that he learned his first ever spell from Koetting.
Oh, a little bit of butt kissing, some brown nosing.
He was apparently part of this forum at this point for like at least 2 years, logging countless hours in activity. Like he was always up in there, like asking questions, like putting his commentary in there, just a little fucker. Okay, so Koetting's advice in his grimoires on this forum and his videos is always to include in your pact the attainment of wealth. Use your sorcery to become wealthy. Money is power. And who could forget that wonderful quote from the start of the episode? When you destroy the victim, there is a release, a massive explosion of power and energy. If you can harness that and push it towards a goal, it's powerful beyond most other forms of magic. Blah, 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 blah.
Can't we just stick to like money bowls and manifesting? Do we really have to go the whole like demon winning the Mega Millions route? There's gotta be easier ways.
I mean, I guess like why do you have to summon a demon? Like theoretically you could be doing not black magic and you can still be trying to like win the lottery. Like if that's all you wanted was to win the fucking lottery, I'm sure you could do that not with a demon.
At least try something else first, but
I mean, it's mind blowing, you know?
Truly.
What are we going to do? Okay. I guess I just don't have any words. Never mind. I was going to say, I'm like, there's nothing to even fucking say about this douchebags. Okay. So Professor Matthew Feldman said some of Koetting's work could amount to incitement to murder. And he stated one book that he has, Works of Darkness, describes how to murder another person with a knife in a ritual sacrifice. Another book, Apex of Eternity, advises people to study the terrorist handbook and provides practical guidance on how to kill another person. This is the best example I have come across of someone saying this is what you must do to become strong, powerful, rich. He has 87,000 followers on YouTube, 87,000 YouTube subscribers, 128,000 on Facebook. If 0.1% of people take that seriously, as Daniel Hussein clearly did, and think this is what I have to do to become famous, that's 200 potential murderers.
Yeah. Like you think, oh, that's such a small percentage. When you break down the numbers, holy crap.
200 potential murderers.
Yeah.
Having a podcast, I'm terrified of offending somebody. And this lunatic is out here like promoting murder to thousands and thousands of people.
It's amazing, like people like him or the Teal Swans, the cult leaders of the world, the colloidal silver lady whose name is Amy Carlson. All of them are doing this through YouTube.
It's just mind blowing.
It's insane.
So in court, Detective Chief Inspector Simon Harding said Daniel had acted like a belligerent child. Because he is.
Yeah.
He's shown complete disrespect to the court system, turning his back on the judge, trying to stare out the family and laugh and snicker and sticking up loser signs.
Oh, my God.
He has behaved like a teenage boy, but he has committed some of the most savage crimes we have seen for many years in one of the biggest police investigations we have had in a very, very long time. I firmly believe he would have carried out his contract. He would have carried on killing women until he had killed his first 6. If he had not won the lottery by that stage every 6 months, is what he said. He is where he should be, and he will be there for a very, very long time. Even though he's only 19, he is a very, very dangerous individual.
I know I was giving him shit for being stupid and getting caught so easily earlier, but also when you're that terrible of a human being, honestly, good for him for not thinking about his dad being booked and leaving the weapon, because had he not been such a stupid criminal, right? God only knows how bad this would have been.
So here's the thing. It should have been worse. And I say that because he did intend to kill 6 people. He didn't admit that. But what happened was, and this is why the knife most likely got left, he got injured during this attack of the 2 girls. And he got so badly injured that he actually went to the emergency room and said he got mugged. So he would have continued on that night had he not had to go to the emergency room.
Was it one of the 2 girls who injured him?
Or he accidentally probably stabbed himself, like cut his hand. I think, you know what I mean?
I could absolutely see that.
Something like that. I want to say he cut himself because I think he had to get stitches, I'm pretty sure. But I think that, no, I know that he probably would have killed more if he found them. Because remember, this was they said they probably were murdered around like 2:30 in the morning. So if he found anybody else, I'm sure a woman out and about, he would have done it. But because he got injured, he couldn't.
Like stabbing yourself.
Well, right. Absolutely. So I don't think he really meant to leave the sunglasses because sunglasses had their blood on it. But I don't think he meant to just leave those and the knife. Like that wasn't intentional. It was just, I think that he's like, fuck it. He drug their bodies to under some tree, like a tree line as best as he could in that time. And then he had to fucking go get fixed up. Little fucker. Okay, so Fox 13 tried to get in contact with Koetting to hear what he had to say about the murders.
Where does he live?
Utah.
I was going to say, he's American, right? I briefly heard about this. Like, I don't remember the details, but as you're telling me, it sounds super familiar. I may have read about this when it happened.
Listen, he is disgusting looking. Like, I'm telling you, even if I didn't know anything about him and I saw him, he is like just a piece of shit. Like he's just gross. And he's always fucking just smoking cigarettes, like always just blowing smoke in a can. He is disgusting. Look him up really quick. Everybody.
I know where I heard about him.
Where?
Wasn't it briefly on an episode of Haunted Objects on their Curses one?
I don't know.
I think they didn't go into as much detail as you are by any means, but they did talk about him.
Maybe.
When you hit Google Images, it doesn't even show him. It's just all his book.
He's gross. And he's literally always just like in a fucking basement or something, like his little dungeony room, like doing podcasts. If you watch interviews of him and just listening to him talk and shit, he is
I'm sure that
vile. Ew.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at pictures of him right now. He is super gross.
If you watch videos of him too, he's always wearing just like a wife beater and just like
he just looks trashy.
Yeah, yes, I didn't want to say that, but he was very. That's a good trash.
I'll say it.
Okay, so investigative reporter Adam Herberts traveled to Utah to try and get an interview, and he stated that he thought that Koetting would be willing to talk because he's all over all kinds of social media platforms, podcasts. He's talking openly about his beliefs and godlike abilities. He's always talking about how he's a god and like he advertises like becoming a god and all this bullshit. So they actually really thought that he would talk because he's so willing to talk all the other times. He like denied all their calls and attempts.
Yeah, but he wants to control the narrative, I bet. Like if he's talking on YouTube, you can talk as much as you want without somebody being on the other
and even
side.
podcast. It's crazy though. He does like 4-hour podcasts where he just rants about all of this shit. How he's like amazing. God, like, oh my God, I can't. They even went to his door and it's like painted like red. And it's like kind of like the outline is like black and it's just like shittily painted. But on top, it has like your address numbers.
Yeah.
But it's not his address, but the address numbers on the top of his door is 666.
Of course.
Like, you're so fucking stupid.
We all knew right where that was going.
It's kind of funny because this one interview, which will be linked from this, the investigative reporter Adam was like telling him this. And then I remember what the guy's name was, but he's like, so kind of basically like dogging him, but basically being like, so if he has all like, does his house look like he's wealthy? Like he's advertising that he has godlike power and all this wealth and stuff. And he kind of like, Adam's just like, like he didn't want to say it. Like, no, like there's no reason. Like, yes, this man has money because he's exploiting everybody to pay him for things. But like, he doesn't have like this abundance of wealth from the fucking devil.
He would have the Mega Millions money if he knew how to get Mega Millions money. Yeah.
Fucking piece of shit. So Adam had interviewed Rick Allen Ross, who is the founder and executive director of the nonprofit Cult Education Institute.
Okay.
I think we're kind of all thinking at this point that he is like a cult leader. Like he has like a cult following, right? Like
he's got all the ingredients for it. Sure.
Ingredients. Yeah. So Rick has been researching cults for about 30 years. And surprisingly, he doesn't think Koetting is a cult leader. And he said, well, in my opinion, he comes across as a con man.
Yeah.
What I see is a salesman, an actor. He's costumed, he wears makeup, and he's basically trying to project an attractive magnetic image so he can pull people in and then make money off of them. Like it's
like snake oil on steroids.
Yeah. Koetting's bullshit, however. Oh my God. Sorry, I'm getting a cramp in my foot. It's curling up so bad. I just messed up that line, so I'm going to start over. So thankfully, YouTube and Facebook have removed all of Koetting's bullshit. However, his books are still available for sale on Amazon.
Oh, well. I could see YouTube cleaning up his shit, but I could also definitely not see Amazon getting rid of some of that stuff.
So, yeah, Rick said they should be policing their platforms, and I hope Amazon will take action as soon as possible. That's a scary thing. How do you monitor your kids and make sure that they're not connecting with someone like Koetting? But what can you do about someone like Koetting? You cannot arrest him for his beliefs. These people are deeply disturbed, very easily influenced, and then they come into the orbit of someone like Koetting, who then becomes their ignition point. And let me just reiterate, influence, the power to cause changes without directly forcing those changes to happen. So I will ask you again, do you think that Koetting should be held responsible for these murders?
Comes down to intent. Earlier, like I said, he literally says, I don't care what happens to people, that sort of thing. I don't see how he is not charged with like a manslaughter in this or an accessory to murder or something.
Is not. He didn't get anything.
I wonder if the death would have happened on American soil, if it would have been different.
I thought that.
Because it makes me think of like Crumbly, right? The school shooter whose parents, at least mom, I don't think dad's been sentenced yet, or if he did, I fell off watching that case, but she got, it was third degree manslaughter or something like, I don't know my law well enough, but even though she didn't actually pull the trigger, they enabled the situation that,
yeah, it's just crazy. And it's like, it's hard because you do have the ability of free speech, and you can say what you want. Like you and I can talk about our beliefs and what we think and our opinions and things like that. And like this, this quote was just, but what do you do? Because you can't arrest him for his beliefs. And just because he's saying he believes this and that and doesn't care, he's never murdered anybody. He's never done any of these things. Well, that we know of, but he's never done any of this. He didn't say, hey, you, Daniel, go do this. And, that was like another argument, is that they don't think that these two people have actually ever met or really been in contact with each other other than just like the forums with all his followers. So it's like he didn't directly talk to Daniel and say, it's just crazy.
Yeah, I guess that is true.
I don't know. I think he should be held accountable for something, or his book should be like banned or something like that. Like it's just, but then it's like, okay, so do you then, he could just play that these are just fake books. Like they're not, like they're just books. Like, do you go and read? I don't know.
It's so tough to call. Yeah. I can see why he wasn't charged, right? Not that I would agree with it, but it's
me too.
It's a very tough case. I think it comes down to, and it's like so fucking cliche, I know, but the quote, with great power comes great responsibility. When you are in a position of power, whether it's an online influencer, whether you're in politics, whether you literally lead a team at work, right? Like you have to know that the words you say have consequence, whether it's an order you're giving or not. You're having you have to think about the outcome of the language that you use. And it sounds like for him, it really aligned with his values and goals and all that kind of stuff. But like, oh, God.
I mean, I guess that's just like, even you and I, when we're like, okay, so we're going to start this podcast, like we could potentially, have hundreds of people listening to us, or, hope one day thousands of you guys. But, we're going to say some dumb things that are going to offend people and it's going to be upset. And that has always been our fears. Like we don't want to intentionally do that. But like you said, you have to be mindful of that if you have any sort of platform. And I think that is crazy, especially like nowadays, like influencers, that's an actual job now. It never used to be a job. It is an actual job. And like, think of all these people.
It's a straight up marketing job now.
Yeah. And it's like, and I'm not saying it's a bad job. I'm just saying it's now a job. It never used to be. But like some of these influencers, we watch them get like, canceled and things like that for things that they do and they say, and you're like, wow, like they probably didn't mean it that way or like this, but this is crazy. Like you said,
yeah, this is direct.
I don't care what you do. If you kill somebody or try to kill cancer, I don't really care.
This is one who needs to be canceled for sure.
It's for sure. It's wild to me that the books are still available. Like they just shouldn't be. Like I think that's the very least, your book shouldn't be available. Like
100%.
So I don't want to like skim too much over our poor victims. But
so were they just random victims then that he just saw in the park?
Yep. And it happened to be like two girls or two women. And, that's what he said. He's only going to kill women, and they happened to be there.
Gotcha.
I think because they couldn't really get much out of him. He pled that he had Asperger's and he can't remember things. That's what he said. So he couldn't remember. But basically they thought that he was just...
I'm sure that's the only thing his lawyer could spin. You remember what I said earlier.
Right. It was just that they thought he was in the park, saw that the family was kind of leaving one by one, and it was just the two girls left. And, it just kind of unfortunately worked out. But obviously their lives were taken way too soon, and it's so sad. And Bibaa was actually a social worker, and she was like, working so hard for like children that, just had unjust families and situations. And Nicole was a photographer, which I think is probably why they were out with fairy lights, dancing, taking pictures, just doing like a birthday photo shoot.
Something you would know
really
about.
Sad. I know. It's just really sad. And their mother is just so awful, because it's like, you're never supposed to bury your child. And she had to bury 2 out of her 3 at the same time. Like, it's just horrifying. But
this guy sitting over in Utah gets what's coming.
Oh, he's going to.
For sure.
The karma is going to fucking kill that man, because he probably doesn't even feel bad about this, because he's in his delusion. He did nothing wrong. He has nothing to do with this. And I think that's what really pisses me off about this is like, not to go back to it, but yeah, we're all influencers nowadays. Let's just try to be careful and be kind. And no matter what you believe, I don't know. It's just fucked up.
And with that, we've had over 100 and some episodes, almost 130 at this point. If we have said something we apologize. Also,
just let me know.
Seriously, we would be open to growth. We are always ready to learn more. So if we've ever done anything to offend or could use a different word, we would like to change. So let us know.
So yeah, with that, I just thought this week I'd bring you all the horrible things: murder, demons, cults, and influencers. Just kidding, influencers, you're not horrible.
I didn't even catch that at first. No, that was really, there's a lot jam-packed in there.
I could have went so much farther. There was even just like a quick side note. This is fucking terrible, and it makes me feel even worse for these poor girls' mom or women's mother or family. There was a botched investigation too.
Yeah, it seemed like the family really figured everything out.
No, when the bodies were found, the police officers, and I didn't really look too much into this because I was just like already disgusted with this whole thing. But the police officers were taking pictures of the dead bodies and sending it through like a WhatsApp service to people and making fun of it and like saying that they look like dead fish or something, or like dead, I don't even know. But so they got fucking fired. So not only did they not send out people to investigate in time, or like when they said, they let the family and loved ones find the fucking bodies. And then when they got there to do the investigation, they had fucking idiot police officers that were actually taking pictures and making fun of the dead victims.
That's absolutely beyond horrible.
It's fucked up. So anyway.
Wow. Okay.
Sorry, I should have tried to find something lighter to end on, not something more fucked up.
We'll take it.
Sorry, guys.
That's a great job. So lessons to be learned from this one, right? If you are influencing,
yes,
probably shouldn't do it with demons. Let's not make deals with demons. It's probably not going to go your way. And we've got 2 prime examples here about how black magic doesn't help you win the lottery. So maybe just try some money bowls and manifestation, okay? Keep the knives out of it.
That's what I'm thinking. Just put the good energy out to everybody else, and then you'll get that good energy back anyway. So
there you go.
Just give people a hug instead of a stab.
I like that. Hugs instead of stabs.
Hug instead of stabs. That can be our merch.
Ooh, I like that. Also, it could be our emojis for this episode. That little hugging smiley and a knife. Yeah, I think that works perfectly.
I like it.
All right, so if you got this far, you know what emojis to leave.
Okay.
Hey, we also, if you've made it this far, we have brought you a lot of bonus episodes with your write-ins and call-ins, and we are getting darn low on our back stock.
We are. We need some mo.
So, phone numbers down in the show notes. The write-in, hit our email down in the show notes. Go to the website. There's literally a box. You can type it all in and drop it. We want to read your stories.
Honestly, if you just feel like being lazy and you just want to DM us on our socials, you can also do that. I don't care.
There you go. Send a carrier pigeon. Shit.
Oh, that would actually be perfect.
You'd make Kara's day.
There's one thing that we have not asked in a long time, and it would be really appreciated to leave a review.
Mm-hmm.
Apple reviews are super, super important. So if you listen to us on Apple, Spotify's are too. But if you could do that, that would be really appreciative. If you know your friends and family that have done that, listen to us and like us, ask them to do that.
Are you ready to sound like an influencer? And if you're listening to us on YouTube, smash that like button and subscribe.
Oh,
Sorry.
Oh, Jesus.
I
mean, you should. We would appreciate it. But I think that's all I have for you guys today. We love you. I hope I didn't bring you down too much on this wonderful... We're into March, so we're getting there. We're getting out of the winter.
1 week from spring today.
I know. So anyway, we love you. We appreciate you. Do all of the things that we always ask. Please be kind to everybody and to each other, and buy somebody a coffee and give them a hug. But the most important thing you can do is to creep a real, you oddballs.
Goodbye.
Bye.